get scared now.
Man, I gotta tell you guys, I am beat tonight. Another 54-hour work week, so I hope you guys had a better one than I did. So, I'm really tired, so I thought it was time to play a game that, one I'm told, is guaranteed to get the blood pumping, and that game tonight is going to be Fatal Frame. This game was released in 2002 and was created by Tecmo. Specifically, it was created by, make sure I'm pronouncing this right, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Makoto Shibata? And he had previously worked on a series of PS1, I want to call them reverse horror games, called Deception. Now, according to Shibata, he always had a fascination with the horror genre because he claims to have had a series of paranormal experiences during his life. And based on that, he had this idea for a purely supernatural horror game that, would draw upon Japanese culture and whatnot. And that game would eventually take the form of Fatal Frame, which, upon its release in 2002, was almost immediately hailed as one of the scariest video games of all time. It was so scary, in fact, that a lot of people claim that they just couldn't finish the game because of that. Now, whether or not that's actually true, I don't know, but I think it's telling that one of their goals for the sequel was to make it less scary and more narratively driven, just because most people put it down because they were just too scared. Now, I've actually played Fatal Frame before in the past, and I don't remember it being that scary. I mean, it certainly was an effective horror game, I'll give you that, but I remember there being another reason why I ended up not finishing it all those years ago. So it's something I've wanted to revisit for a while now, so I figured I'd get started on it for the stream here. As for how I'm playing this game, I'm going to have to play on the old PlayStation 2. I know the game was re-released for the PlayStation 3, but unfortunately, the PSN store is not up anymore, so I just do not have that option anymore, which is really a shame because it was so convenient to have the original trilogy so readily available. I mean, you do have the newer games available on modern consoles, but Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3, for whatever reason, they haven't re-released yet, and I can't fathom why. And let me tell you, copies of these games are not cheap. I'm lucky I actually have a copy in the first place. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Give me a second to boot up the PlayStation here. And some people often wonder why I don't have the games running right away when I do these streams. And that's because I want to be sure that I show the logos and everything so that it's clear who actually made the games instead of someone trying to say that I'm passing it off as my own idea, which I'm not. Nothing I do is original. This is just a platform for me to talk about games. It looks like my capture software is acting up on me. Ah, there it goes. Ah, there. That's why there was no audio initially. Tecmo. I haven't played a whole lot by those guys. Gotta say, looking back, I'm not terribly fond of this title screen. The graphic design of the logo is a little messy. It's not immediately readable, which is never a good thing, and the color choice is a little gaudy. But stuff that might be a little head-tilting for some people is the based on a true story part. If you're familiar with the Fatal Frame series, you know that in Japan and Europe it's called Project Zero. And in those games, they don't have the based on a true story subtitle. And that's primarily because it's not based on a true story. It is true that it was inspired by Shibata's paranormal experiences, but the game is 100% fictional. And in fact, based on some research I've done, they actually took a lot of the game's content from an old manga series called Yokai Hunters. So, yeah, it's not based on a true story, nothing happened here, and the existence of ghosts is still questionable. I guess I should mention, do I believe in ghosts? I don't know. I've had my own paranormal experiences before, but I'm also a crazy person, so I have no idea if it was just my over imagination or something real. But at the same time, I really don't care if ghosts are real. Cool. If they don't, oh well. My life's not going to change either way. Alright. I apologize if this footage isn't terribly clean. I am playing off the PS2 and I don't have the equipment to get clean footage. And I love that sound design. Already it's haunting. I apologize if this...
My big brother. He was so sweet and kind.
Oh man, I'm smiling already. That voice acting is awful.
One I could open up to about these visions. After our mother died, he was my only family.
It's like they gave someone a script and said, here, say this creepily. Wait, was that his feet?
So this is Himuro Mansion.
Call that a Jill sandwich. Hey! Beautiful graphic design. Why didn't you just make that the title screen?
My brother was in search of someone. Junsei Takamine, a famous novelist, and a man my brother was very indebted to, disappeared while researching a book.
Huh. Well, the only logical thing to do in that situation is call the police, file a missing persons report, maybe a private investigator to go check out the place. One thing you shouldn't do is go to a place like that by yourself. Maybe get some friends together, go during the day.
Uneasy.
But nope, we're gonna go during the night. Already I can tell this guy is really stupid. And if you know how this game is, you kind of know that he's not right in the head.
The forbidden rituals of this area. It looks like Mr. Takamine was doing research into them. I wonder if his group is still here.
Fascinating. Okay, as usual, we're going to talk about the controls first. So, what's interesting about Fatal Frame is that unlike a lot of survival horror games, it actually uses full analog control. So, none of that tank control stuff, which you'd think I would be happy about considering how much I hate tank controls. But the thing is, the game still uses fixed camera angles, and because of that, it's easy for the inputs to get crossed when a camera switches. This is something I've talked about a lot as I've been doing this series of horror games. But they did have one interesting idea of how to mitigate it, and that's what they did with the run button. So I'm going to point this way, and then I'm going to hold the run button, and that causes him to run forward on his own. So think of it kind of like a gas pedal, if you will. That's an interesting idea, but I don't know if it really helps, because you may have noticed when I play these horror games just so I can get the slow burn of it. I tend to not run everywhere. You'll probably see what I'm talking about with the analog issue as we play. Wrong button. Okay, so I switch to the camera, I can take pictures. I'll talk more about that later. Hey, you might think there's something wrong with my capture card, everything's in black and white, but this first section of the game actually is completely in black and white, so that's nothing that's on the fault of me. It's just the choice they made. There's an old camera over here. I think I can take a shot. I don't have enough space for a save. See what's over here. Doesn't look like there's anything of value. Those lighting effects are pretty impressive. That was something they apparently spent a lot of time on during development. Just how much your light cuts through the blackness. What? Well, that's a bit concerning. I don't know if you guys can hear the ambience, but like it's just this drone. And what's creepy about it is it almost sounds like a chorus. And I think it is a chorus actually. Which, for what is the major threat in Fatal Frame, I think is beautiful. Because you just kind of get this sense that there's always something in the area, something watching you. Just leaves you unnerved 24/7. And then stuff like that happens that actually made my heart stop a little bit. Ooh. Oh, that's really cool. My control is vibrating. It's not just shaking, it's actually pulsating. It's like a heartbeat. That's really cool. I'm gonna have fun with this one, I can tell. Just walking up those stairs with the pulsing control. The way those shadows move, you're seeing stuff appear and then disappear. What do we got here?
This notebook. It's Mr. Takamine's.
Is it now? Oh no.
That was Mr. Takamine. So he did come here.
Uh-oh. Oh dear. Could you have animated that face to show a little more fear? Oh cool, it goes. Oh, he's just a little camera shy. Nah. Quit being such a crybaby. Huh.
I captured a ghost with this camera. This camera has the power to expose things the normal eye can't see. I remember the incident from which I learned of its unique power to capture ghosts.
Well, that's neat. Okay, so right there you saw the main gameplay hook of Fatal Frame, and that's its approach to combat. How it works is you bring up the camera, and from here, the ghosts will come at you, and then you take pictures of them. Now, it's not like in Resident Evil where you retreat to a safe distance and then just fire until whatever is in front of you is dead, and you hope you have enough distance to actually down them before they close that distance. You can do that in Fatal Frame, just take pictures of them, but it won't do much damage. In order to make the most of your camera, you actually have to hold the cursor on the ghost for an extended period of time, and more often than not, that is essentially giving them time to move closer towards you. And often the charge isn't completely filled when they're right in your face and about to attack. So essentially what this does is, rather than, trying to keep something away from you, you're sort of inviting them into your space and having to look these things dead in the eye. That is a great idea for a horror game, and it's something that's wholly unique to Fatal Frame. There is some annoyances with the camera system, though. For starters, looking up and down is the left stick here, and then the right stick is your movements. And anyone who has played a first-person shooter, and I think the past 20 years now, I want to say, is going to tell you that that is backwards. Now, that was probably intentional, but, kind of like how people say the tank controls were intended to, make you trip over your own feet, stuff like that. Maybe that was the intention. Like, you panic when a ghost comes at you, so, you make a mistake, you go to move, but you take your cursor off, and then all of a sudden you lose a charge. I don't know if that was the intention, but it can certainly be annoying. Anyway, let's get out of here. I think we have revealed that this place is indeed dangerous and haunted. And because of that, I think it's time to get the F out of Dodge, get to a phone, and call the Ghostbusters. They'll take care of this. And my control's pulsing again, which... Ooh, and the music changed. God, that is creepy. The door to the entrance is open, but I'm not sure. I'm sure it was just closed a while ago. Wait a minute. Ooh, this is a trap. This is a trap. Yeah, I just love how the light just vanishes. It just becomes a black screen. I'm digging this, dude. I'm digging this. Alright, do I go this way now? Well, I can't go that way because of this board that's on the door. Guess I'll go back the way I came now. Like I said, I need to get out of here. Why do I get the sense this guy isn't going anywhere? There goes my control again. And that is getting faster.
It's been 2 weeks since I last heard from my brother.
So, your brother disappeared,
Something was calling me here.
go into a haunted mansion, and you're going by yourself. Ugh, jeez.
Mafuyu.
But narratively, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it would have been more interesting to follow a film crew or something, or the research team. You know, the people the first guy came here to find.
My brother was here. What is this place? Did someone just...
Yes, indeed. Okay, so as you can see, the game's now in color. And I have mixed opinions on the presentation here, especially in these early chapters of the game where you're in the more dilapidated parts of the mansion. It's just kind of bland to look at, and though it has a very strong Japanese aesthetic to it, you just don't get to look at it real well because of the darkness. Maybe that was kind of the point, but still. I don't know why I did that. Like, the game is in color now, but it really doesn't make much of a difference, does it? Eh? A blue flame. You know, we are playing as a cute Japanese girl in a short skirt, and now there's talk of ropes. This is probably not the place to be. This is the guy who made Deception, which is a very strange game if you've ever played it. Now there's another rope. And another rope. I don't know how I feel about her animation. The walk cycle feels very unnatural. Almost like it's slowed down. Her hair looks a little funny too. One interesting motif with her design though, they intentionally gave her outfit a splash of red, which was intended to convey life. You may notice with a lot of the ghosts you encounter throughout the game, they don't have much color to them. And even her brother didn't have a whole lot of color in his design either. Now we're picking up the camera.
Did something happen to my brother?
Yes, something happened to your brother. Go call the police, for crying out loud. I found a new note inside Mafuyu's notebook. Himuro Mansion investigation. Himuro Mansion was once home to a large landowner that controlled vast areas of the land. They also say that the site held some special significance that had to do with the Shinto rituals of the region. I couldn't find any detailed books about these Shinto rituals, though. The last master of the Himuro family line massacred his entire household. Later, another family tried to live there, disappeared. Wait, Okay, there is a that there. It's God, I'm dyslexic. Because of the incidents like these, nobody visits the mansion today, and it lies in ruins. Maybe that's why there aren't any accounts of the Shinto rituals, and why the exact location of the place isn't recorded anywhere. I have had a bad feeling ever since I came to this mansion. I'm leaving notes in this notebook just in case anything happens to me. I gotta find Mr. Takami. Oh man, the Japanese language is so hard. And the others fast. I hope it's not too late. Well, considering I encountered one of the guys that was a ghost. Yeah. Well, that was creepy. The way she slowly opens the doors too, that builds a lot of tension. Music's changing again. Yeah, picking up medicine here. So, Bro Shadow. I'm gonna send this video to my friend Celine when I'm finished with this. They were a big fan of photography back in the day. I actually did a little bit of photography back during my time at governor's school. It wasn't something I was terribly interested in. I was more into the process of actually, drawing, painting. Okay, can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that? It wasn't something I was terribly interested in. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm hearing like a really faint chanting. God, the sound in this game is good. It's coming from behind this door too. I can't even remember what I was talking about. Alright, what's on the floor? More medicine. Man, this game just keeps getting me with the jump scares. It is nice that the items you can pick up do sparkle like that. With the way the lighting effects are handled here, it'd be really easy to miss them in the darkness, so that was a smart choice. There's that chanting again. I just know something's going to jump out and get me. Whew. I was talking about how Silent Hill is supposedly the scariest game of all time. But I honestly had fun playing that game last week. Not last week, a couple weeks ago. This is actually making me anxious. Okay, let's back up. I got a camera and I know how to use it.
Should I take a photo?
It's worth a try. No full. Okay, that's a little silly. Why wouldn't you just check behind the screen in the first place? Did you really need to take a picture in order to find the hidden passageway? These characters aren't terribly bright, are they? Another one of those blue spirits. I do not know, but it's creeping me out. There's a door. Ah, you see what happened there? The camera shifted and then I went this way. That's what I'm talking about with the analog control. When the camera cuts like that, it spazzes out because the inputs are different. Late yesterday, a human body with no limbs was found in Himuro Mountain, located in the southern region of the prefecture. The body's hands, feet, and head were all torn off. The police is investigating the case, both a murder and an accident. The body has not been identified, but is believed to be a man around the age of 30. Police are also taking into consideration the fact that a body mutilated in the same manner was found in the same location 15 years ago. Okay, so let me get this straight. In the land surrounding the mansion, they have found evidence of violent acts. People being murdered and mutilated. 3 people go missing. Someone goes looking for them, and then they go missing. Why would you not call the police? I know they probably wouldn't be able to help with the ghost here, but for crying out loud, do not go in alone, you idiot. Ugh. And actually, if you know the origin of the camera obscura, they may actually have protocols for dealing with this sort of thing. Like, I think there's even a few games that take place before the first Fatal Frame game, but this isn't a new occurrence in this world, I would say. Wandering man. Woman in a... oh, yeah. Oh man, there is that again. That is so creepy. It's so cool. It's a powerful force. Like, it just sounds like there's something in here that wants to eat me. And I'm playing this with headphones on right now. It's actually moving in and out of my ears, which is really cool. It's coming from in here. Oh, it's a tape recorder. Ah! Yeah, that's a good place to hide. Hide in the closet. I'm pretty sure that's ghost proof. Maybe some holy water? Peekaboo! See, look at that. Fear on the face. Need more of that. That's horrifying.
What was
Oh.
that?
Let's see here.
September 9th, 5:40 p.m. The mansion was nowhere to be seen on the map, so we finally had to ask the locals how to find it. They told us that Himuro Mansion had been empty for several decades now. The same ones who told us where it was also warned us not to come here, which was quite disconcerting.
Yet you went anyway. Like, I know I keep harping on the fact that I point out the just gross lapse in logic, like, displayed by these characters. But this is actually good, because this is a horror video game doing its job. This is something I learned watching Uncle Derek for Stop Skeletons from Fighting, back when he was a happy video game nerd. When you're watching, say, Friday the 13th, and you see characters go into a area where you know Jason is lurking, you say, "No, don't go in there, you're going to get murdered." That's a horror film doing its job. A horror video game is doing its job when you say something like, "Oh man, that door just opened. I do not want to go in there." But you have to, because that's part of the game. You yourself have to do it, which is great. What we got here? Oh, kimonos. Wait, what? Got more medicine? Let's see here. Gotta be honest, I've always had a thing for girls in kimonos. Though, in this situation, I have a feeling I'd want to avoid anyone like that. Ooh. Okay, back up. Dang. Yeah, that's another thing. The ghosts have a tendency to fade in and out. So it can be hard to keep track of them. Another tape. Let's hear that.
September 9th, 9:40 p.m. It seemed dangerous to walk through the mountain at night, so we decided to spend the night here and continue our work.
Oh, wonderful.
I've been through several rooms already. Unlike the exterior, the interior is still in quite good shape. A little earlier, I thought I saw a white, shadowy figure of a woman in the hallway near the entrance. I'll keep track of such sightings and publish them in a later account.
Spooky. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so what I thought I got there was the ability to upgrade the camera, but I guess not. So we'll put that off to the side for now. But yeah, I love the enemy encounters in this game. Especially when you get a chance to... Meh. Oh. It's so weird. Having the movement stick on the other side. Oh, I know where that is. Oh, let's go get it. There's that sound again. Oh crap. Okay, back up, back up. Like, the combat might not look that spectacular, but I gotta tell you, that really grates your nerves, just that thing getting close to you. You're just praying for the opportunity for the camera to max out, so you can hopefully take it out as quickly as possible. What's this? Ah, more medicine. I don't think I've taken a hit yet, though, have I? A door held shut by a powerful force. The music in this game is just unrelenting. It's terrifying. There's something reflecting the light inside this ornament. Okay, so I guess I'm going back to that room. Man, I wish I had brought a beer to drink. Is there? Okay, that was creepy. nothing. Degen, wasting my time. That was very creepy, though. Ah! Okay, that genuinely got me. Well played, Tecmo. Well played. Hey, there's the key.
It's that person I just saw. The ropes.
Ah. Where? Ah! Where you at? There. Ah! Off! You keep your rope to yourself. Wow. Say cheese. Here's what I was looking for earlier. So as you play the game, you'll unlock the means to upgrade your camera. So you can upgrade the range, like how much space, how much margin of error you have with where the reticle needs to be, speed, how fast to charge, and the max value, that's how high it can charge. And you also have bonus functions down here, which can do stuff like push goes back, slow goes down. But you gotta be careful with that stuff because you want to save that for like boss fights. But I am going to upgrade my camera's basic performance, range, and speed of charge. And that should do it for now. Okay, so I got a key, so let's go upstairs. Not hearing that chanting anymore, that's concerning. That was one thing I didn't do, I wanted to check my health. So just like any survival horror game, resource management is a big deal. So you have health, and you also have a limited amount of film, different types of film. But I wouldn't say it's as important as Resident Evil, because just like at Silent Hill, your resources are infinite, so your inventory is infinite, so you can carry as much of that stuff with you at once. You don't have to make any choice about what you want, what you do want, stuff like that. What you want, what you don't want. My god, I need to learn to speak if I'm going to be doing these videos. This way. Hey, was this here before? More type 14. Just like your basic fundamental ammo for the camera. Doesn't do a whole lot. It's the equivalent of a pistol in Resident Evil. It's good for general use, but not much else. So let's see what's behind door number 1. Looks like a bedroom. Or would this be a living room? The secret rituals of the Himuro family. Many rituals and customs have been passed down through the generations of the Himuro family. Most of them are lost. The only things we have left now are some documents that record these rituals as legend. Hardly any of the oral history remains. This is because all Himuro family members are dead, and those who are close to the family have kept quiet about the ritual. One ritual in particular, performed on December 13th, is shrouded in mystery. People who lived near the mansion stayed inside on that particular day, and even now it's considered bad luck to leave the windows open on that date. I can only assume that this is due to the cruel nature of the ritual, and the truth remains unknown. And boy, is it cruel. Is it cruel? What about over here? More herbal medicine that I still have not used yet. Now we have the door. It's like a little balcony. Moonlight lights the atrium dimly. Maybe the owners used to watch the moon from here? Something else on the floor here. More medicine. Well, at least I'm not going to be short on that. Am I going to open this back up? Is something going to jump out at me? I guess not. That's a little disappointing. Slide screen paper is torn. I can see it in the room. Rows of old books, a library, and another door. 5 minutes left in the stream. Ooh, that was an ominous sound. Ooh, that'll come in handy. Let's see here. So regular film is fairly so I guess we can look at that as shotgun ammo. Man, it's creepy how that closes. Yet you came anyway.
There are rock marks on my body. Just like Koji.
Okay, this is a place we... You know what? I'm being a dead horse. These people are just dumb. The more I find out about Himuro Mansion, the creepier it gets. I'm sure it's the perfect subject matter for Mr. T's next book. But to be perfectly honest, I don't like this assignment one bit. It gives me a bad feeling. There's no way I want to go to the mansion, but it's my job, right? I guess I'll have to go. And I wouldn't want to waste the chance to work with Mr. T just because of a little bit of uneasiness either. It doesn't help I have this sixth sense for the supernatural either. There's such a thing as knowing too much sometimes. Yes, there's such a thing as knowing too much sometimes. Oh my goodness. You should have said that to Mr. T. You should have said that to Mr. T. This. Oh, it's a staircase.
Mafuyu. Wait.
Lady, back up. I got my finger on that camera button. What in the world? What? Okay, so that was beautifully grotesque. Whew. Thank God I wore my brown pants. Oh my God, this game is so cool. Alright, so we're about an hour in, so I think I'm gonna call it there because I don't think my nerves can handle much more. So, I think this game speaks for itself. Fatal Frame is just amazing. Now, as the game goes on, issues do start to arise. The mansion itself does get really tedious to explore. Some of the puzzles are a little lame. And the combat can get a little repetitive. But, like, the combat itself is just brilliant in its execution. The atmosphere is just intense, dude. Like, the graphics, the level design, the character models aren't that great, but, I mean, did you see that last ghost? And there are more terrifying enemies than that in this game. And it's just a masterclass in horror. Why isn't this available to play right now? Why did I have to spend money in order to run down the used copy of this game and then hook up my old PS2 to play it? This should be on PS5. This should be on Xbox Series X. This should be on Nintendo Switch. People would play this. Like, I'm probably going to keep playing, like, once the stream cuts off. But, yeah, I said Silent Hill has a reputation of the scariest game of all time. I honestly find this scarier. I'm still gonna be that guy and say that I find System Shock more terrifying, but that's just a personal thing. But yeah, highly recommended if you can get your hands on this. But don't pay too much for it. It's not worth triple-digit prices. No game is worth triple-digit prices. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's content. If you enjoyed watching me, I do these videos every week at 12 o'clock on Saturday. Not 12 o'clock on Saturdays, 8 o'clock. My God, I'm tired. At 8 o'clock on Saturday, I do these videos every week. If you want to see more, like and subscribe. We got more horror games for October. The next game isn't going to be as scary, but it'll still be a good one. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic night and take care.